Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver George Pickens says that the NFL has vendettas against certain players. Also, there's an injury update on Cole Holcomb, Pittsburgh Steelers inside linebacker, who's been suffering from a knee injury. But first, before I get more into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also, like this video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, we all remember that pass that Russell Wilson made to George Pickens in the back of the end zone against the Giants Monday Night Football primetime, where George Pickens catches the ball, but he's unable to get both feet to tap on the grass. He gets 1 foot down twice, and then the rule comes in, and it's reversed. It's no longer a touchdown because he did not get both his left and his right foot down. He double tapped the same foot, and apparently, per the rule book, that is not allowed. But then, just yesterday, on Thursday Night Football, the Jets versus the Houston Texans, we seen Aaron Rodgers throw a jump ball to Garrett Wilson in the left corner of the end zone. Garrett Wilson goes up with one hand. He catches the ball, but it looks like his knee is out of bounds. But they call it a touchdown because his shin hit down before his knee hit out of bounds, literally 0.1 seconds apart. They ruled that a touchdown and overturned the no call. So, George Pickens, knowing his personality and everything like that, you know that he's gonna have something to say about it. So, he did have something to say. He actually took to social media not too long after to call the NFL saying this. But that's a catch, LMFAO. NFL be having vendettas toward certain players. End quote. So both things can be true here. The rule on the field could be correct for both cases because George Pickens, per the rule book, that was not a catch. And per the rule book on Garrett Wilson's, that was a catch. So those things could be right. But on the same way that George Pickens is right, vendettas is had against certain players in the NFL. So both parties are correct. When you look at these catches, each follow the NFL's rule book, technically the same foot hitting twice is not a catch. It has to be each foot hitting in bounds. Wilson's was ruled a catch because the shin is another part of the body. If a receiver gets their knee down in bounds, it is a catch. If you get your shin down, it's a catch. If you get your forearm down, it's a catch. So the shin hit down before the knee hit out of bounds. So in reality, per the rule book, that is a catch. But George Pickens getting the same foot down twice is not a catch because you need 2 feet in bounds, or one of the other things I just said. So George Pickens, he was incorrect on the rule, but he's true. He's right in the fact that NFL do be having vendettas against certain players and teams. And the fact that the Jets are always on primetime football, they can't lose every single game. The NFL has to do something about it. So the vendetta to help the Jets is real, and obviously George Pickens calling this out is not going to help his case in the future to help him gain popularity in the league and the NFL. Anyway, George Pickens is over it, and he calls out the NFL for having vendettas. Now, let's move over to the second topic of this video, and it is Cole Holcomb. Cole Holcomb has been out for a while now, and he's in the middle of the rehab process of his knee injury. When you look at veteran Cole Holcomb, he continues to rehab work and try to get his way back to the 2024 season. When you look at him, he is a player who got injured last season, late in the year. He had a gruesome knee injury that took place against the Tennessee Titans in Week 9. So it's really almost been a whole season, a whole year since his last injury and since the injury took place. But it was a gruesome injury where he tore multiple things and he's still rehabbing. And while there's plenty of doubt that he makes his return this season, inside linebackers coach Aaron Curry is very pleased with the way that Holcomb continues to attack his rehab. And he gives this update, a little one, on Cole Holcomb. Here's what he had to say. I think the best thing that he's done is really just focus on being the best that he could possibly be in regards to his rehab and making sure that he doesn't get distracted by the eagerness of wanting to be back out there and staying focused and locked in on increasing and improving his health. he's done a really good job with that. End quote. So when you look at Cole Holcomb, this is not really a big update, but in April, Steelers GM Omar Khan stated Holcomb was working hard to get back. Then in May, Holcomb stated he wasn't worried about returning from the knee injury because he had full confidence in himself and his recovery. So in late July, during training camp at St. Vincent's College in Latrobe, it's been written that Holcomb wasn't anywhere near ready to play and that he wouldn't be back anytime soon. And now, based off this little update by Aaron Curry, he's basically saying the same thing, saying that, hey, we're not going to rush him back. He's not rushing to get back. He's just trying to make sure that he's 100% healthy. So if you're digging anything into this, he will probably be out for the remainder of the season and maybe back for the time of next season. And to be honest, that makes complete sense. The Pittsburgh Steelers, before the start of this season, had to kind of rework his contract in order to keep him on the team, knowing that more than likely he wouldn't be playing all of this season, or at least late in the year if he did come back. So they reworked his contract to make his cap hit lower, and they reworked it. So they worked together to do that, which kept him on the team and kept him from getting cut. So obviously, you look at Cole Holcomb, and when you look at the situation with the Pittsburgh Steelers inside linebacker, and there's no rush to bring him back. They have a really good inside linebacker group with Patrick Queen, Elena Roberts, the rookie Peyton Wilson stepping up. They also have Mark Robinson there sometimes. Right now he's special teams, but he can step up if needed in an Elena Roberts type of role. And then they have Cole Holcomb lurking in the backgrounds, and if he returns next season, it could be a big boost to that group. But right now, there's no rush to bring him back, and that's why they're not worried about bringing him back, because their inside linebacker core is really good in all assets of the field, running the game and passing the game. It's a shame that Cole Holcomb can't be out there, because before he got injured last season, he had 54 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, 2 pass defense, and 4 tackles for loss, playing 447 snaps before week 9 injury, and he was playing really well both in coverage and the run game, and really kind of revamped the Pittsburgh Steelers inside linebacker group last season after being terrible for multiple seasons in a row. So he was kind of the bright spot in that room last season, and then he got injured and everything went downhill from the inside linebacker group, and everyone else started getting injured as well. And then it was just a bad inside linebacker group at the end of the year. So you look at that, and then you look at Cole Holcomb this season, and he's still dealing with that knee injury, but he's a bright spot on this team. And when he does get back, he could be utilized in many different ways in the pass coverage and the running game, because he does both great. Anyway, there's no rush to bring him back, and per Aaron Curry, he's still doing his rehab and doing everything the right way. Patrick Queen has taken over and played really solid this season. I know there's been some complaints about him, but he's been a solid player in the run game and pass game, and then Elena Roberts has been amazing. Elena Roberts, since coming here, has been amazing in the run game, stopping players behind the line of scrimmage, stopping the run and everything like that. And then Peyton Wilson, his first season, is flying around the field, making plays, and being on high alert. And then Mark Robinson has been really good on special teams. So there's no rush for Cole Holcomb to come back, but when he does, it will really change the way the Pittsburgh Steelers play, and it just give them another player to be utilized. One more thing on Aaron Curry talking about Cole Holcomb, he says this: it is really challenging to be around the game and not be able to perform and play and practice the game that you've been playing all your life. It's really challenging. It takes a lot of mental toughness and a lot of self-discipline not to put yourself in a position to put yourself at risk. End quote. So that's obviously another thing that Cole Holcomb is doing well in his rehab. Anyway, that's your little update on the Pittsburgh Steelers for today. George Pickens calls out the NFL for vendettas, and just a little bit of an update on Cole Holcomb. It's not too much, but there's the update. Anyway, this is the end of the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, highlights, analysis reports, everything like that. I cover everything Steelers. It doesn't matter what it is, it's being covered on the channel. So stay tuned to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, and also let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on each of these topics of George Pickens calling NFL. Do you believe there is vendettas that the NFL has against certain players and teams? And also, how do you feel about Cole Holcomb in his injury recovery rehab? And do you think he'll be back this season? And if he's not, do you think he'll be ready to go next season and be a huge playmaker for this team? Anyways, until next time, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.